The music of Grand Theft Auto V is the soundtrack to the video game Grand Theft Auto V. The soundtrack was released digitally on September 24, 2013 in 3 volumes, including an original score composed for the game in addition to selections from songs that were licensed for the in-game radio. The retail version of the soundtrack was released on December 9, 2014 for CD and vinyl. The game is the first in its series to include an original score. The work was shared between a team of producers who collaborated with each other during the game's development. Critical reception to the soundtrack was positive, as reviewers considered that the music had been appropriated effectively for gameplay. Production and composition: Grand Theft Auto V is the first entry in its series to make use of an original score. Music supervisor Ivan Pavlovich noted that creating original score for the game was daunting given that it would be a first for the series. Like previous entries in the series, the game also contains licensed music tracks provided by an in-game radio. Pavlovich noted that the team did not want the original music to detract from the use of licensed music as well, but rather to accompany it. He further considered that the team had to balance the ambient subtext and tension of the score with on-screen action in the game. To work on the score, Rockstar brought The Alchemist, Oh No and Tangerine Dream on board with Woody Jackson, who had collaborated with the team on 3 previous projects, Red Dead Redemption, L.A. Noire and Max Payne 3. In collaboration with each other, the team of producers composed 20 hours of music which scores the game's missions. In addition, music plays dynamically throughout the game in both the single-player and multiplayer modes. Early in the game's development, the music team was shown an early build of the game before conducting production on the score. Their work on the score was mostly complete later in the game's development, but they continued composing up until the final build of the game had to be submitted for manufacturing. Edgar Froese, Tangerine Dream's founding member, was initially uninterested in being involved in music production on the game. After being flown into the studio and shown the game, he had a change of heart, impressed by the game's scale and cinematic nature. Froese's initial 8 months of work on the score produced 62 hours of music. He recorded with Tangerine Dream in Austria, but further work was mainly conducted at Jackson's studio in the United States, which The Alchemist and Oh No accessed. Jackson, who upon learning that the composers would be building off each other's work, expressed concern that the finished product could end up disjointed. His initial work on the game was to provide score for Trevor's missions, citing the Mars Volta and Queens of the Stone Age as stylistic influences during this process. After sending his efforts around to the other members of the team, Jackson was impressed by Froese's contributions to his work. Edgar evolved the music, made it into a whole other thing, he noted. Froese had taken Jackson's hip-hop influenced work and interpolated it with a funky sound. Pavlovich considered how to make the hip-hop and rock score not sound like they were instrumentals of songs on the radio, but rather something unique to the score, a challenge. Froese and Jackson also sent their efforts between The Alchemist and Oh No, who heavily sampled their work. We were sampling, taking a piece from here, a piece from there, we pitched stuff up, chopped it, tweaked it. Then we chose the tracks that worked and everyone came in and layered on that, recalled The Alchemist. DJ Shadow then mixed the team's creations together and appropriated it for the gameplay. Pavlovich noted that at times Rockstar would give the team missions to specifically provide score for, but that some of the team's music composed for no specific purpose would influence some other missions and provide jumping-off points for further score development. He noted what he described as a stem-based system to make the music fit dynamic factors in the game. After a piece of music was assigned to a particular mission, the team would compose music to underscore outcomes the player could make after completing it. Each of these stems, Froese reflected, included up to 62 5-minute WAV files, which were sent to Pavlovich in New York. He then created, very professionally, a mixdown for each of the 8 stems needed for a mission and sent out the material to the other artists involved. He elaborated. Oh No drew upon scenes from within the game to help in his composition efforts, allowing his work to feel contextually pertinent with the action on screen. For example, The iconographic introduction of the fictional city of Los Santos early in the game inspired him to create a smooth West Coast vibe that embodied Los Santos. Supplying horns, electric and bass guitars, and percussion parts to the score, Oh No considered, fit with car chase scenes during the game. We wanted everything to set the right tone, he explained. Critical reception: in the context of the game, the music of Grand Theft Auto V was well received. Jim Sterling of Destructoid considered the game's sound design impeccable, directing praise at the score. The staff at Edge wrote that the licensed music is Los Santos' already remarkable sense of space, and considered that the original score enhanced the atmosphere of the gameplay, retrospectively noting, "It's only in replaying Euro missions that you come to appreciate the complexity and power of Rockstar's bespoke, dynamic score, whose rhythms do so much to achieve that age-old video game goal of creating the sensation of playing a movie." Carolyn Petty of GameSpot also thought that the score lends missions more cinematic flavor, while Jeff Kstman of Giant Bomb said that the score helped enhance dramatic tension during missions. Kaiser McDonald of IGN commented that the licensed music had been selected well, and agreed that the original score builds tension on missions. Alex Young of Consequence of Sound considered the score dynamic to say the least, praising the music for its appropriation within the gameplay. He concluded that the team have crafted an entertaining blend of musical tastes that everyone can get on board with. Track listing: all songs written and composed by Tangerine Dream, Woody Jackson, The Alchemist and Oh No. All songs layered, mixed and arranged by DJ Shadow from the original interactive in-game score. See also, Grand Theft Auto V soundtrack, music from games radio stations, Welcome to Los Santos, an additional soundtrack album released in April 2015. References. External links: Grand Theft Auto V official website music page.